Imagine waking up in January 2026 to find your monthly take-home pay has shifted significantly. For years, the Central Provident Fund wage ceiling remained steady, but the final leap to $8,000 is now officially here. This change isn't just a minor administrative adjustment, it is a seismic shift in how your wealth is structured. Most high earners view this as a reduction in immediate liquid cash, but elite financial planners see it as the ultimate wealth-building tool. We are entering a new era of compulsory savings that, if managed correctly, can unlock a multi-million-dollar retirement. Today, we peel back the curtain on the $8,000 CPF hack that will maximize your cash flow and secure your financial future. To master this new system, we must first dissect the mechanics of the wage ceiling increase. Since 2023, the ceiling has climbed from $6,000 to $8,000. This means that for anyone earning above this threshold, a larger portion of your gross salary is now diverted into your ordinary, special, and MediSave accounts before you even see your paycheck. While this feels like a pay cut, the employer contribution has also scaled accordingly, effectively giving you a hidden raise that bypasses your bank account. Understanding the specific allocation ratios across your different accounts is the first step in reclaiming control. You are not just saving more, you are building a massive tax-advantaged fortress. The primary psychological barrier with the $8,000 ceiling is the perceived loss of monthly liquidity. When your take-home pay drops, your immediate reaction might be to scale back on investments or lifestyle. However, this is precisely where the cash flow hack begins. By understanding that your CPF contributions are now hitting the maximum possible tax-free growth rate, you can actually reduce your external taxable investment contributions. Instead of feeling the pinch, you should calculate the exact dollar amount redirected to your special account, which earns a guaranteed 4%. This allows you to stop overfunding low-yield private savings accounts and instead focus your liquid cash on high-growth, high-risk assets that complement your stable CPF foundation and overall. One of the most powerful moves in this new landscape involves the ordinary account shielding technique. As your OA balance swells due to the higher ceiling, the temptation is to let it sit at the base 2.5% interest rate. But the professional strategy is to utilize the CPF investment scheme to shield your funds just before you reach significant milestones, like your 55th birthday. By temporarily moving OA funds into low-risk T-bills or money market funds, you can manipulate how your retirement account is formed. This ensures that your special account, with its higher interest, remains untouched for longer, compounding at a much faster rate than the standard transition allows. It is a game of precision, timing, and long-term mathematical planning.
Next, we must address the MediSave account. With the wage ceiling at $8,000, high earners will reach the basic healthcare sum much faster than previous generations. Once your MediSave hits this cap, every cent of the mandatory contribution that would have gone into MediSave now overflows into your special account or retirement account. This creates a massive acceleration in your retirement fund growth. The hack here is to stop making voluntary MediSave top-ups if you are nearing the cap. Instead, let the new mandatory ceiling do the heavy lifting for you. This redirects your spare cash toward the supplementary retirement scheme, where you can further reduce your taxable income while maintaining liquidity for future investments or large-scale purchases.
Tax optimization is the silent engine of wealth. With the higher wage ceiling, your mandatory CPF contributions already provide a significant tax shield by reducing your chargeable income. However, the hack is to balance this with the retirement sum topping scheme. Since you are already contributing more due to the $8,000 limit, you must be careful not to exceed the annual tax relief cap of $8,000 for personal top-ups. The strategic play is to calculate your new mandatory contribution first, then precisely fill the remaining gap to hit the tax relief ceiling perfectly. This ensures you pay the absolute minimum to the taxman while maximizing the risk-free, compounded returns within your protected special account environment for life.
Now, let's look at the CPF investment scheme through the lens of 2026. With more funds flowing into your OA, your investable balance grows significantly. The mistake most make is leaving too much in the OA. The elite move is to use the surplus to invest in low-cost, broad market index funds that historically outperform the 2.5% floor.
However, because your special account is now being aggressively funded by the $8,000 ceiling, you have a much higher risk floor. This allows you to be more aggressive with your external cash investments. You are essentially using the government-mandated savings as your bonds or fixed income, freeing up your cash to hunt for much higher returns elsewhere in the global market. The supplementary retirement scheme is the final piece of the cash flow puzzle. While CPF is mandatory, SRS is voluntary and offers a dollar-for-dollar tax deduction. With the new CPF ceiling already reducing your take-home pay, you might be hesitant to lock away more cash. But here is the secret. Because the higher CPF ceiling lowers your tax bracket, your SRS contributions become even more efficient. You can contribute just enough to drop into a lower tax tier, effectively buying a discount on your future wealth. By coordinating your SRS investments with your newly enlarged CPF accounts, you create a dual-engine retirement vehicle that is almost entirely shielded from the volatility. Managing your mortgage is the next critical phase. Many homeowners use their OA to pay monthly installments. With the $8,000 ceiling, your OA monthly inflow increases. Instead of simply letting the surplus sit there, you should use the extra funds to pay down the principal of your home loan faster. Or better yet, keep the cash in the OA for the guaranteed interest, while using your actual cash for higher yield investments. This cash flow flip turns your mortgage from a liability into a strategic lever. By using the increased CPF inflow to cover housing costs, you free up a significant portion of your liquid monthly salary, effectively nullifying the impact of the lower take-home pay you experienced initially.
Let's run the numbers on a 10-year horizon. A middle-income earner seeing their ceiling rise from $6,000 to $8,000 will see an additional $24,000 in annual wages subject to CPF. Over a decade, with employer contributions and a conservative 4% interest rate, this ceiling gap alone can grow into an extra $300,000. This is the power of compounding that is often invisible in the short term. The hack isn't just about saving, it's about the mathematical inevitability of wealth when you maximize these thresholds. By the time you reach 55, this single policy change could be the difference between a modest retirement and an affluent, worry-free lifestyle in one of the world's most expensive cities. However, we must address the liquidity trap. The biggest risk of the $8,000 ceiling is having too much wealth trapped in a system you cannot access until age 55 or 65. To counter this, you must build a cash bridge. This involves maintaining an emergency fund of at least 6 to 12 months of expenses in a highly liquid, high-yield savings account. Do not let the automated nature of CPF lull you into a false sense of security. You must actively manage your liquid cash flow to ensure you don't have to take high-interest personal loans for immediate needs. True financial mastery is the balance between the locked wealth of CPF and the fluid wealth in your own bank. The final strategy for 2026 and beyond is a total shift in mindset. You must stop viewing the CPF wage ceiling as a tax and start viewing it as a subsidized investment portfolio. By optimizing your OA to SA transfers, maximizing your tax reliefs through precision topping, and balancing your mortgage payments with the increased inflow, you are building a machine that works while you sleep. The $8,000 hack is about total financial integration. As you navigate this new landscape, remember that consistency is more powerful than market timing. Use the tools provided by the system, exploit the tax advantages, and you will find yourself with a monthly cash flow that exceeds your wildest expectations. Your journey to mastery